Nila and I stand in front of you today as outsiders.
Outsiders who watch the war unfold inside a small glass ball.
Outsiders who can only feel the pain of others but don't know what that pain is like themselves.
Outsiders who want to lighten burdens and heal wounds but have never had to heal any themselves.
Outsiders who wish to bring peace without knowing what war is like.
Outsiders who haven't been in this country long enough to say the words, I understand, but.
We stand here in front of you today to show, to share, to enlighten.
All the silent voices we heard while on the streets of Sarajevo, Srebrenica, and Mostar.
To all audience members, friends, and strangers, gather around, listen to the stories we have found. Stories about love, pain, valiance, and war.
Listen to us outsiders as we narrate their stories. It started off with a sound.
A sound of a bullet whistling through the air.
A sound that will haunt him till the day he dies.
A sound that ended with silence.
A home once filled with laughter and melodies from the radio, now echo violent threats from the violent manifesto.
Where's the resistance? Where's the aid? What did we do wrong in the first place?
A young boy thought as he watched mothers and sisters waving farewell.
While fathers and brothers packed their bags hoping it would all end well. Standing at the edge of the forest, pushing the corpses he just saw to the back of his mind, building courage to take this first step forward.
100 kilometers lay between him and freedom. 100 kilometers of bullets showering down upon him. 100 kilometers
of land filled with people whose only goal is to see the life drain out of his body. Why me?
He cried.
Why me?
He shouted. He could think of nothing but pushing forward.
Forward was freedom. Forward was survival. Forward was everything.
He knew that if he wanted to survive, he would have to run fast and not look back.
This was the last time he saw his father and his twin brother. The only goodbye was many years later, standing upon their graves.
Clenching flowers by his side, tears flowing from his eyes as he whispered,
"Be at peace,"
he said, and walked away in silence.
It began with a letter.
They pleaded to,
"Come help your brothers, fight for freedom." He left all he knew, his friends and his family.
He left his mother crying, alone in tragedy.
He stood real tall and looked up at the sky. "This is for my people, this is for my family." He took one step, and before he knew it,
guns and bullets, the fire was lit. He shot his neighbors.
The pain left him silent.
The blood filled the sewers.
He's shivering after every bullet.
He makes a fist and pushes right through it.
He writes in letters night after night.
"Oh, mother, why can't we live in peace? All I want is for us to meet. I've noticed just how fleeting life can be, and it hurts to take it away so easily."
He watched his brothers kill and rape.
Blood,
Blood, so much blood.
He watched young boys be shot into mud.
Blood, so much blood.
Hatred dark and rampant like a flood. It rose up like air and merged with the oxygen.
He became a puppet without intuition.
Every night when he slept in his bed,
he always dreamt of the streets dyed red.
And when the war finally came to an end, he went back home.
But his home was no more, for there is no home without his mother. And when the neighbors cowered in his presence,
and his friends whispered on the streets,
his home was yet another battlefield. In a small town hidden from view, there was a young girl who watched the travelers pass through. A town so small, everyone's connected by an invisible string.
A town so quiet, you can hear the birds sing.
A town so plain, the name is unrecognizable.
But when war came, it did not forget.
War came, and so did the artillery.
War came, and the uniformed men followed.
War came, and so did the smell of death.
The young girl watched her school turn into a base filled with young foreign soldiers. She knew that she had to take into consideration her circumstances and push forward. She became a translator and played both sides. She tried to stand her ground and do what's right. And before she knew it, the years of war passed by, and she learned that no matter who you are, the pain of losing someone is still the same.
All these stories,
sewn together with sorrow.
heartbreak don't make.
More war, they said.
We need to shed
Light upon this dark era in our past, they said. Peace is here and here to stay.
But no as outsiders feel our skin crawl.
Reconciliation, more like no confrontation. If we can't,
put our differences aside.
if we can't look past our different narratives and move forward, if we can't
see the human behind the mask,
the human hearts behind the bulletproof vest,
the human tears falling from the grieving mother's eyes,
the human strength outside ourselves and our stories,
then peace will be a thing of the past. So, even though we're outsiders who haven't been in this country long enough to say the words, I understand,
we are outsiders who have been in this country long enough to say,
I'm sorry.
Thank you. This was one of the first projects Effie and I did at this school, and we're graduating this year. So, I don't know, it was just nostalgic. So, thank you everyone for listening.